Hi, this is Jordan from Dark Victory Armory, and we're going to be talking today about how to use and pad arms. This is a Vambrace Elbow, pretty typical of how we make them. This one happens to be the size large. The smaller one, we have different bore sizes for the arm opening, and also the one that's a medium. It's just a little shorter here. It'll fit shorter arms. It's assembled with copper rivets. You can see that this is a solid structure. So if you get caught underneath someone and someone decides to accidentally step on your arm, if you don't get your arms tucked in quick enough, it'll protect your wrist pretty well. And the elbow, good tough elbow. Padding them. I have a set of probably excessively large elbow pads here. This is a size medium, I think. Yeah, it's a medium. They call this this is the bike pad, the contoured extra long knee or elbow pads. I think the extra longs aren't bad. If you're going to be using these, and they're really pretty good to use, maybe choose one that's black because the white ones stand out really badly. This one's a medium. It fits pretty good on my guns. Get it on there. You might want something that has a little bit more coverage on the outsides of the elbow. These pads are really intended for an impact like that. But, if someone's going to be hitting you with a stick, they're going to be getting you on the sides. And you might want some padding in there. So when you're choosing your pads in the store, look for something that has padding on the sides. Try to avoid the ones that have like plastic armor built in there. It's going to slip around a lot on the inside of your armor, and you don't want that. Okay, I got the pad on my arm. I got my elbow in the arm. Now we're going to take the elbow and we're going to plant the elbow plate right onto the point of the elbow. You extend your arm all the way. Now if you look at this one, it's just kind of touching my arm a little bit, my wrist a little bit. If that's a problem, you can adjust these. You might want it a little bit shorter. You have to decide once we put on half gauntlets. But if you did need to adjust that, you see those two laces right there? If you drilled 2 holes and then undid those laces and moved this thing a little shorter, that'd be a really quick and effective way to adjust the length. Recommend it. All right, how do you attach these to the pads? Well, that's our recommendation. Actually, you do attach it to the pads. If you can, you just pop a couple of holes in the pad here and there, and you lace each one of these to the size of the pad. This will work. You can do a bow tie on your elbow every time. That will work pretty reasonably, but it's a little easier if it's attached to the pad. If you have a pad like this, you might consider just putting a little closed cell foam insulation on the sides to give you a little extra protection. Now, that's one part. That's one of the ways that this elbow is held in place. The other is your half gauntlet. Half gauntlet, or your gauntlet whenever we decide to get around to making those. Look at the overlap there. This half gauntlet and either the laces or the pad with the laces strapped to it are going to keep this arm in place. And that's really, you want it to stay in place. You want it to flop around. You're going to be swinging your arms pretty wildly, even though this is my offhand. But let's say you're going two-sword. You want it to stay in place. This cuff stays really good. Now look at the cuff here. It's oversized. The oversized cuff goes over the top of the Vanbrace, and it provides really excellent coverage and movement at the same time. The plastic doesn't stick to anything. It doesn't stick to itself. So it makes it possible for you to do every conceivable motion that you want to with full mobility while still having your wrist double covered at all times. That's a really cool thing. In the event you need to change it, as with all of our armor, like you wanted to change this hole a little bit or change the way that this is curved, toss it into boiling water. One of the simplest ways to adjust this, if you wanted to make it more oval, is you toss it into boiling water, you kind of stir it around for a little bit, and then you step on the rivet. It'll oval it out, and you pop it under some running water. It'll cool it, quench the plastic, and get it to set. So that's the long and short on how to use the arms and how they work with these half gauntlets. I hope that this primer has been useful to you. Yeah, this is Jordan from Dark Victory Armory. Fight hard.